What's up, everyone? I wanted to start out by acknowledging and apologizing for the fact that I have been absent on the video making front for the past few weeks. To be honest, these past few weeks have been pretty challenging for my family, and so I wanted to make sure that they knew that my focus was on them and that they were provided for. And after a few minor miracles, we have now moved past all of it, and it has led to me being much more thankful for the things that I have and the people that I surround myself with. Perfect timing, too, because if you are in the US like I am, then this is Thanksgiving week. And one of the many things that I'm thankful for is this new D&D draft pack set that dropped earlier last week. Unfortunately, my local store was only able to get one display in early, of which I bought 2 draft packs and managed to pull 1 super rare from, which was pretty awesome. But they expect to get more in tomorrow, and I plan on buying a display and opening it up on camera so that we can all settle in one night and see what we get together. From what I've seen and experienced so far, this set is looking very exciting, with a few pieces that could make their way onto meta teams and perhaps even create new archetypes. We're going to talk about one of those today and put a fun, semi-competitive, semi-casual team around it and see what it can do. Super rare Yuan-Ti Pureblood was a card that made me do a double take when I first read it before the set came out. It is a 2-cost bolt character with that Storm stat line and the Attune ability, which plays just like Storm's extra lightning ability, but she also has the additional card text that says, while Yuan-Ti Pureblood is active, when you purchase an action die, trigger the Attune ability of all active character dice. The card specifically uses the word active character dice rather than active characters, which is a huge difference, because if you buy and field all 4 of these Yuan-Ti Pureblood dice, then each die will get its Attune keyword triggered when you purchase an action die. Now I will stop here and say that I've put in a question to the WizKids Rules forum for clarification on this, and it hasn't yet been ruled on, but based on the reading of the card, it would appear that this is how this works. So by herself, she is a damage dealing machine, and combined with the Cosmic Cube, she is a pretty viable competitive win condition. So the plan is this: we're going to buy up a bunch of our Yuan-Tis, buy and use a cube, and then buy a bunch of action dice on that same turn to trigger each Yuan-Ti die's Attune ability, causing them all to deal 1 damage plus 2 for each from the cube to do massive damage with each action die purchase. You can trigger the ability by buying more cubes, which is really, really good and probably what you would do in a competitive mode, but rather than taking it that super competitive route, let's highlight some fun new Tomb of Annihilation cards that fit with this. Improvised Weapon is a 1-cost basic action from the new set that says, roll a die from your used pile, and if it rolls a character face, target character die gets plus XA until the end of the turn, where X is the rolled face's attack. If it rolls an energy face, prep a die from your bag. Return the rolled die to your used pile. So the ability on this is really cool, and for one, it's really, really powerful, especially on other teams, and this could act as some sort of a secondary win condition on the team as well. But our goal isn't really to use the ability, rather to buy up all 3 of them when we've lined up the cube Yuan-Ti combo for a nice OTK. Crunching the numbers, you need to buy and field 2 Purebloods, use 1 cube, which deals 3 damage from the 1 Pureblood's Attune keyword because they don't trigger both, and then buy all 3 of the improvised weapons to push an additional 18 damage to finish your opponent. And it is a pretty cool combo as well. So what else goes onto this team? The combo is countered in all of the same ways that you'd counter something like King Blackbolt. Rare Bishop, Shriek, and Scarlet Witch are all concerns. Let's address each of these in the reverse. In order to get around the Scarlet Witch's ability forcing you to reroll all of your actions, we'll bring Parallax so that when we miss our action phases on cube, we can just pay to reroll them on our main phase until we get what we need. It's not a perfect workaround, and it gives the ability to our opponent as well, but this team looks to outpace our opponent, not to play for the long game. Shriek is a major concern, as once Pureblood's text is wiped, we lose our win condition. One way to work around this is to include the new uncommon elf druid that plays just like Storm, except it has the Attune keyword. It's a 3-cost with slightly better stat line and a horrible level 3 fielding cost, but the Attune keyword makes a huge difference as it synergizes with Pureblood's text and also just allows you to remove Shriek by playing a cube while she's in the field. She deals 1 damage to a character die or player when the action die is used, and cube ups that by 2, meaning she can KO Shriek on all 3 sides. Rare Bishop is another tricky piece, as he protects the opponent from all of the damage that we're looking to deal to them. Normally Shriek's Sonic Beams would be the pick for dealing with him, but instead of going that route, let's put the 4-cost Shriek Dark Empathy on our team, aka the Prismatic Spray with legs. For 1 extra energy, this Shriek can wipe all 3 of the previously mentioned cards. Unfortunately, it is a when fielded effect, meaning you have to line her up with the cube and the purchases, meaning if they have Bishop in the field, you have to field her on the same turn that you also use the cube and go for the OTK. Otherwise, you can only push a little bit of damage, and you have to cycle her back around, so use her when fielded effect to wipe him again. But her upside is that unless your opponent shrieks her, you're taking care of all of their control pieces in one package. All in all, she's a less consistent choice, but variety is the spice of life. She's prismatic spray with legs, and this is a D&D team, so let's do it. In order to help cycle her and line her up with the cube, let's tack on some Fabricate. Here's one of the new stone golems from the Tomb of Annihilation set that has a 2/4 Fabricate. He's a 5-cost shield character with a pretty decent stat line, but again, you're not bringing him for the stat line. You're bringing him for the 2/4 Fabricate, which means you KO 2 character dice with a total purchase cost of 4 or more to purchase this die for free. This lines up perfectly with our 4-cost Shriek, so you can cycle her along with a sidekick to meet the 2/4 requirement, and meaning you can roll and field her again next turn using that when fielded effect again, because when KO'd she moves to the prep area. This golem also works well with our next card, which provides us some ramp thanks to a nice when fielded effect. The uncommon Pseudo Dragon is a 2-cost mass character with an 0/1/1, 1/2/2, 1/2/3 stat line from the Tomb of Annihilation set, and it says when fielded, draw a die for each active character die with a tune in your field zone. So he's a 2-cost with a synergistic ramp ability for our team that can draw and roll 2 to 3 dice when fielded. Oh, and he's a dragon, and dragons are awesome, so let's throw him on there. Rounding out the team, we have Rip Hunters Chalkboard, a card I've been a little less high on lately, but fits really well in this team due to our game plan of just buying these low drops, prepping them over, and having them out early. I've already mentioned that improvised weapon is one of our basic actions, and as for the other, let's add another fun TOA card. Create Food and Water, also known as Cake. Cake is a 3-cost action that says draw dice from your bag until you draw a non-NPC die or your bag is empty. Prep all dice drawn this way. It's also got this cool pay 1 global. It says once per turn, draw a die from your bag, return it to your bag, or add it to your used pile, so you can churn through your bag in that way as well. This is also one of those slots that you can switch out, but this card is really, really cool. It's new. It provides an incredible amount of churn, especially when most of our purchases are looking to be ripped over into prep. It gives us another action to buy to use with Pure Blood. It has a cool global, and it's got a picture of Cake on it. That's adorable. So there you have it. It's not a fine-tuned competitive team, but it is a team that would kill at a themed tournament or in a local meta that isn't full of people only playing WKO-worthy decks. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to mess around with. I hope I pull a Pure Blood in the display that I purchase, and if I don't, I'll probably trade for one somehow, some way. If you have one, I'll trade you for it if I don't get it. Let me know what you think about this team in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the combo itself. How viable do you think it is in tournament play? And as always, thanks for watching.